Is the OnePlus 12R still worth buying in 2025? Well, in this video, we're going to find out. What's going on, everyone? This is Kevin here, and this is the OnePlus 12R. Now, the OnePlus 12R was launched in January of 2024, so at this point, quite a bit of time has gone on since the phone was launched, and I want to make this video to kind of look back on it to see if it's still a worthy option. Now, ever since being launched, this phone has been very competitive. In fact, for it being a mid-range smartphone, we're pretty much getting flagship level performance and features here with the 12R, and to make things even better, the original MSRP was already a fantastic value as it is. The base storage and RAM configuration of this device features an MSRP of just $499. Now, in addition to that, not too many people are even paying that full MSRP because OnePlus generally offers this device with quite a few various discounts and promotions. And also consider that since this phone has been out for a while, you might even want to buy one used and save a bit of money that way. So I guess the point is that if you're looking to buy a OnePlus 12R in 2025, you're not going to be paying anywhere near full MSRP for it. So my overall point is that if you're going to be buying a OnePlus 12R in 2025, you're going to be getting even better deals on it compared to when people bought it when it first was launched. And because of that, that makes this phone even more of a great value. Now, before I get too far into things here with this device and go over the various features and highlights of it, let's see what all comes included in the box. So here's the box. You can see right there, 12R. Also OnePlus branding there at the bottom. Now this model of the device features 16 gigabytes of RAM as well as 256 gigabytes of storage. And also I do want to thank OnePlus for originally sending this phone out to me to cover here on the channel. Of course, in addition to this video, I've made quite a few other videos about this device, so definitely make sure to check out all of that content. But in the box, we're getting a USB-C cable for charging and data transfer. It's very bright in this red color. And then we're also getting a USB wall adapter, but this wall adapter is especially unique because it features SuperVOOC technology, which is owned by the parent company of OnePlus. And basically with SuperVOOC technology, you can recharge this phone at up to 100 watts. So that's extremely impressive. If you remember the old school Apple charger that would come with various iPhones, that charger was 5 watts. So this is 100 watts. So you can do the math there and determine how much faster this really is compared to the old chargers that we used to use with smartphones about a decade ago. And then we're also getting this packet here, so we'll see what comes included in here. And as you can see, there's a lot of literature and paperwork here, but basically we're getting a quick start guide, we're getting a safety guide, some other paperwork related to the warranty. We're also getting some OnePlus stickers here, so never settle. There's also a SIM card removal tool. There's even some welcome information. We're also getting a USB OTG adapter. And then this is pretty cool. Basically, they give recognition to the top people in the OnePlus community. So there's various usernames here, and I actually know some of the people that are listed here, which is especially cool. Now with the OnePlus 12R, we're getting a very large 6.78-inch display, and then this display features LTPO AMOLED technology, and then in addition to that, we're getting a 120Hz refresh rate. So everything's super smooth when navigating around the phone here on the device, and that's all because of that faster refresh rate that we're getting. Now the display resolution with this device is 1264 by 2780, so a little bit under 1440p, but for a mid-range device, anything over 1080p is especially impressive. And then we're getting a PPI 450, we're getting a 19.8 by 9 aspect ratio, so a more narrow but taller form factor, and then finally we're getting a 90.9% screen-to-body ratio. So pretty small bezels all throughout, with a hole punch up top for the front-facing camera. Now, the display is a little bit curved, as you might have noticed, but at the same time, if you're not a fan of having a curved display, I don't think it's overly distracting either. So, in general, I think this appeals to pretty much all smartphone users out there. And then making things even better, as I mentioned, the display is excellent with it being LTPO4 AMOLED, but you can really see that we're getting great viewing angles, also excellent colors here. It also gets very bright as well, which isn't always the case for a mid-range device. Now the front camera in that hole punch is 16 megapixels, and definitely check out my full review of the OnePlus 12R to see a variety of different photo and video samples from this device. But in general, the camera quality isn't necessarily as good as the regular OnePlus 12, but at the same time, it's not bad by any means. and certainly for a mid-range device, it's very competitive. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this phone is offered in 2 different storage configurations. You can get it in either 128 gigabytes or 256. Now, no matter which way you go, you're going to be getting a lot of storage here with this device, so 128 gigs is pretty much plenty, I feel like, for most people out there. I know for me, I usually like to have a little bit more than that, but I'm also a content creator, so it really depends on how you plan on using your smartphone. Just keep in mind though that there is no microSD card expansion with this device, so you are limited with just the internal storage and any cloud storage you like to use with the phone. Now, there's no wireless charging with the OnePlus 12R, which is certainly one of the downsides of this device, but we do have an in-display fingerprint sensor, so let's give that a try right now. Now, as you can see, it's very fast and responsive. Let's try that one more time. There you go, it works great, so that's really convenient. And in addition to that, we're also getting Face Unlock here with the device. Now, despite this being a mid-range phone, not only are we actually getting really good photo and video quality, but in addition to that, we're getting a lot of different cameras here on the device. So we're getting a 50 megapixel main camera, an 8 megapixel ultra wide angle camera that can capture images up to 112 degrees, and we're getting a 2 megapixel macro camera for close-up images. Now, heading over to the camera app here on the device, you can see here's how things look with the main rear camera. Then from there, we can go over to 0.6 to go to the ultra wide angle camera. And as you can see, a lot more content can fit in a single frame here. We can also go over to the More tab, and under there's a lot of different options, but one of them is macro. And then with macro, you can get very close up and have things be in really good detail. So that's definitely a useful feature in certain situations where it makes sense. We're also getting portrait mode, so you're getting those nice blurred out backgrounds. You can also flip around to the front-facing camera and take portrait selfies, so there's me right there. Or if you want to, you can also take a standard selfie, so lots of different options. There's even a pro mode here with the device, giving you a lot of different customizations for shutter speed, ISO, also the white balance, so that's great too. And then when it comes to video recording on the OnePlus 12R, unfortunately the front-facing camera is limited at 1080p, but the rear camera can take up to 4K video at 60 FPS. Now, with the OnePlus 12R, there are 2 different options for RAM, as I mentioned earlier. So you can get the phone in either 8 or 16 gigabytes of RAM. This one does have 16 gigs of RAM. And then the processor is the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. Now, compared to the flagship OnePlus 12, that device has the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, which is a bit newer. It's a full year newer, so we are getting an older chipset here with the device, but by no means is the Gen 2 slow at all. And then with the OnePlus 12R, we're getting a very large 5500 milliamp hour internal battery, along with up to 100 watt fast charging compatibility, but you do have to use that included charger, but I'm at least glad that there is a charger included. Nowadays, it's kind of a rare thing to even find that with any smartphone. In addition to that, this device does feature NFC, so if you like to make mobile contactless payments using Tap and Pay, using services such as Google Pay, you can do that here. And then we're also getting an IR blaster. So basically with that feature, you can use this device to actually change the channels on your TV, for example, or really anything that's compatible with IR. Now, taking a closer look at the hardware of the device, taking a look at the left side of the phone, we have the mute switch. So that's a really nice, unique OnePlus feature. Then on the right side, we have volume up, volume down, and also the power button. Then up top here, we have the noise canceling microphone, stereo speaker, and also the IR blaster. Then on the bottom of the phone, we have the slot for the SIM card, microphone, USB-C port for charging and data transfer, and then the main speaker. And then on the back of the phone, we have the flash, camera setup, and the OnePlus logo, and that's pretty much it. Now, I actually like this color quite a bit of the device, but you probably noticed that since it is a glossy back, it does pick up quite a few fingerprints. So if you do want to avoid fingerprints, you might want to consider pairing this phone up with some sort of case. But in conclusion, I'm a big fan of the OnePlus 12R. I feel like this phone offers a ton of value, and it's only going down in price from here on, especially if you want to buy one used. And even at this point, it's still an excellent phone. So if you are considering getting one, I definitely would, as this phone is certainly very worth it. But most importantly, I'm curious to know what you think about the OnePlus 12R in 2025. Do you feel like this is a good phone to get, or do you feel like there's better options out there that are a better deal? Certainly let me know what you think. But this is Kevin here, and I will see you in the next one. Take care and have a great rest of your day.